everyone, it's Claire from The Planning Guide, and today I think we're going to do something a little bit different. So people have contacted me through my website, which is theplanningsguide.co.uk, and quite a few questions that were coming up were around what is all the planning for? What's the end result? Why do you do this for yourself, for other people? And my main answer to those questions is the memories. Making really lovely family or group Disney memories is one of my favourite things to do, and it's what I'm trying to help other people get as well. So I thought, what better way to answer that question in full than sharing with you some of my and my family's top memories from our Disney holidays. So I'm going to do this over two videos. I've split it. One is going to be a Disneyland Paris video and one is going to be a Disney World video. Both will be the top 10, and I'm going to do it in reverse to how I normally do the hints, tips and steps. I'm going to do it where we're counting to number one to that top memory. So if you want to find out what my top memory is at Disneyland Paris and Disney World, please stay to the end of this video. So before we get into the actual countdown for my top 10 memories of Disneyland Paris, there's just a few things that I wanted to say about memories, and that was capturing them in whatever format you want to is absolutely down to you, but I do have a few hints and tips around that as well, which I'm going to do in another video, but I wanted to show you just a couple. So something that I love doing is making autograph books. I've always done a different one for every single holiday that we've gone on. It's just something that you can capture. Sadly, with COVID-19 right now, you can't do autographs, but they will come back. They are bound to. They're such a staple of a Disney holiday that we know they'll return. But don't worry, if you can't do autographs at the moment, there are other things that you can do. I'm going to do some videos around making your own things to take with you to Disneyland Paris, and some of those from me. So these are quite old. These were from the 25th anniversary, where I made my own version of the 25th anniversary ears, matching for me and my daughter. So I kept those. I don't keep all my ears, I tend to recycle them up a bit, but for some of the special ones, I keep them as memories as well. And then the other thing that I really like to do for memories are the photo books. So I will always make my own photo book when I get back around different memories that we've had on holiday. So before we get into the top 10 memories, you've gone to all this effort, you're going to the planning, make sure you're capturing them however you want. So first up is number 10, and my Disneyland Paris memory is the actual reveal that I did for my daughter's first trip to Disney, which was way back at the 25th anniversary. This reveal was actually done in a Disney store. It's really sad that so many Disney stores have gone. There's only a couple left in the country. But back in the day, they used to do reveals for you. And how this would work is you could let them know in advance that you're coming down, let them know your child's name or your family member's name. I've seen it done for adults and it looked just as cool. And you say the dates you're going, how long you're going for. You give them that information, and then you would go along. You would just say to that person that you were with, who it was a surprise for, that you're going to go and look around the Disney store. That's not an unusual thing in my family, so it was fine. And while we were there, a cast member comes up to you and says, would you mind coming over to the video screen? And as you're watching the video screen play, the name comes up saying that they are going to Disney, and the video footage plays of the parades, illuminations, all different things. The cast members also tend to bring out a couple of little free gifts, an activity pack, a paper version of mini ears, and give that person a round of applause. And it was honestly one of the most loveliest memories that I have. So sweet, and a great way to start your planning and the excitement with that person for your Disneyland Paris holiday.
There's someone special in this
So Grace, do you know what this says?
with us and clap along.
So do you know what that word is? That's your name, so it's Grace. You're going to Disneyland Paris.
Did you know that?
Did you know you were going? Look at your mum. So you're going to go and see all of this. You'll see Mickey Mouse. And there's a special thank you. So there's a letter there from Mickey Mouse for you. So that's for you. And we've got you some Minnie Mouse ears to wear when you go.
Oh.
We've got a badge. And I know you've already done a letter to Santa, but you can write another letter to Santa Claus on there as well, okay?
So memory 9 for me isn't a specific ride or show or character meet and greet. It's a feeling. And this is the feeling that I see in my daughter when we are at Disneyland Paris. So in Disneyland Studios, there is a row of trees that kind of line the route, the Hollywood route, down to some of the show areas. And those trees aren't gated or anything. You can walk up to them, it's absolutely fine. And my little girl was walking down and then she heard the music change, and it changed to something that sounded quite dramatic, and to her it was more like parade music. And she began to pretend that she was in the parade and she was spinning around one of these trees, acting oh so adorable and just living her best life. She took a moment to just absolutely enjoy it. She was blowing kisses to people as they walked by, to me and my husband, and we were there for quite a while. That tree has become my daughter's tree, and every time we've been back to Disneyland since then, we have to go and visit the tree. And it invokes this memory of just walking through the studios and having a lovely time and having the space to enjoy it. So sometimes with Disneyland, it's not about a specific thing that you're going to do. It's about that magic feeling that Disney can genuinely bring out. And to see my daughter enjoy herself so much for something so simple, it's just something that I'm always going to treasure. Do you love your tree, Grace? Woo, go careful. Number 8 is a specific season that was at Disneyland Paris, and this was Season of the Force. It was Star Wars based, and while we were there, my daughter was dressed up as Princess Leia. She had the white dress, she had the wig, she had the lightsaber. My husband had a Star Wars jacket and a Chewbacca t-shirt, I seem to remember. I didn't have anything Star Wars at the time, I'm sorry, but I had made my husband some Chewbacca Mickey ears, so he had those on. And we went to go and do the meet and greet with Chewie himself. And the interaction was amazing. As soon as my daughter walked in as Leia, he was just besotted with her, been really kind with her. Then he noticed my husband's ears and his jacket and was really nice to him as well. So what I love about this memory is it was special for my daughter. She really enjoyed it, but it was really a daddy-daughter experience and I got to watch it, which was just lovely because so much around Disney can be around me and the characters and princesses and different things. So for them to have this special moment was just lovely. And sometimes putting in the effort of just having little bits of dress up that go along with a character meet that you're doing can just make it that little bit more special because the characters love interacting with you in their world. So having my daughter as Leia added a different layer to that meet and greet, and it was just brilliant. And when we came out of that meet and greet, we literally walked out and this other little boy was dressed up as Luke Skywalker, and Luke and Leia had the best time. They got on like a house on fire, running around studios, pretending they were Jedi. It was just brilliant.
No, he hasn't come out yet. Oh, please don't move that kids.
Good girl, that's it.
Grace, how about this one?
Oh no. What are you going to do, Princess Leia? Are you going to battle him?
Talk to me. Any intelligence regarding resistance forces will be worth compensation.
Oh.
Are you going to give any
Wait right
information?
there, young one. I've seen you somewhere before.
We want to know everything about the resistance.
Oh no,
Oh.
don't tell
Look
me
very
then.
familiar. You're not on the clearance list for this sector. We'll need you to come with us, please.
Oh, you're going to have to follow him. Follow the stormtrooper.
Yeah.
You have to go with him. You're in trouble now.
She's in trouble.
Oh no.
She better be in the dark side.
Oh no.
Go ahead, Command. Yes, ma'am. We have limited this spy. Transport is full. The prisoner can share the cage with the Wookiee. Okay, then. Yes, sir. Remain calm, citizens. You are in no immediate danger. I made a
Cos'è la mini lei? No?
Poppi qua, Emanuele, poppi qua. Guarda che facciamo
Number 7 happened at Christmas time. It's 2 character meets actually, but they happened on the same day and they're both really special to me. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and combine them. The first meet and greet was with Marie from the Aristocats. And typically in winter, Marie is often out at the front of the main Disneyland park. And I had researched that, yeah, she was definitely going to be there. So I had made quite a few accessories for my little girl. Ears, scarf, the lot, to make sure that she was all Maried up. Marie is one of her absolute favourite characters. And I'd worked out what times we were going to need to be there for because it was a particularly cold day, so I didn't want to be waiting outside too long. We got there and we were about second in the queue for when Marie came out, and Marie was adorable. She was purring all over my daughter, doing little paw marks on her, loving her ears and her scarves. Wouldn't let her go. We gave Marie a little gift while we were there and the cast members, and we had just a lovely, lovely time. And the photos that I got, I'm going to treasure for absolute ever, because even though my daughter's a couple of years older now, she still adores cats, and definitely Marie is still a favourite. So I know that one for her is really special, and she'll look back on that as for a long time with really fond memories. The next one linked to that is a meet and greet that we did later on that same day, but in the studios. And this one was with Minnie Mouse in her Christmas outfit. In advance, I had seen pictures and videos of Minnie in her Christmas outfit, so I knew what it looked like, and it was gorgeous. I loved it. So I had a go at making my own little outfit for my little girl to match. It was something my daughter loves doing. She loves matching characters. I'm a lucky mum that she likes doing that. Not all kids do, and that's absolutely fine. My daughter really enjoys it. So I'd made this little outfit, queued up, got to see Minnie. As soon as Minnie saw her, she was loving her, spinning her around. The photo shoot was so much fun, and quite a few other cast members came out to come and have a look at this little girl that looked like Minnie Mouse in the same outfit, and she got loads of cute compliments, which she just took really well. Didn't make her big-headed or anything like that. It just added to the fun and excitement of this character meet. So again, doing little things to make your character meets extra special can be just an awesome way to enjoy Disney.
Hello there.
Wow, Mary everywhere. We love you.
Memory number 6 for me is the first time that we were able to eat at Auberge de Cendrillon. This is Cinderella's restaurant in the main Disneyland park. At this time, my daughter was 2.5, so she was little, but she was still a absolute into Disney fan, and she had dressed as Cinderella to go in, which worked really well with the theming of the restaurant. So again, I was getting lovely pictures. At this time in that restaurant, they used to do a dance with several princesses and their prince in front of this huge fireplace that is in there. We were super lucky to get the table that is right next to the fireplace. I say super lucky. I had researched some videos and seen that that was a great place to sit, and I asked at the front if it was possible to sit there. If cast members see that it is free, they'll let you. If it's not free and the area, you know, they want to fill it in a different way, then there's nothing you can do about it. I've been lucky and unlucky in this way. This one particular time, super lucky. Other times I've been sat at the back in the booths, and in my opinion, you don't get the same character experience. I don't think it's worth the money when you get sat in those sort of seats. But if you get up there, really added to it. To say she was 2.5, she was so confident. She went and sat with all the other children to watch the dance. Cinderella pulled her up and had a little dance with her. When Cinderella came back round to do autographs, the 2 mice came up with her. And it was just the most gorgeous experience. They were all the best cast members ever. And it was a really special time, a really special character meal that we had.
Yeah, it's very beautiful, isn't it? And do you remember what my carriage was before? It was the beautiful one outside. What did the fairy guard change? The fairy guard? That's right. And my carriage was a pumpkin, wasn't it? Very interesting. Would you like
Disneyland Paris number 5 for me is staying at the Disneyland Hotel. I've only got to do this once. It came around because Disney at the time were doing an amazing package deal. It was a free full board option. It was winter, so it was a little bit cheaper, but it was Christmas time. So we worked out that we could do it, but it was a really short trip. So I think it was just something like 2 nights. But I packed everything into a 2-night trip that I could, because it had been a goal of mine to stay at that hotel. In my opinion, it's worth every single penny. So this hotel is literally over the entrance to the Disneyland park. Certain rooms you do get a fireworks view, other rooms you don't. You need to be really careful with your booking. So don't book this hotel thinking you're definitely going to get the fireworks view, because you're not. You need to be careful, and those rooms are a lot more expensive. I didn't go for one of those because I like to watch the fireworks out right by the castle, and I wanted to save money for other things as well. At this hotel there is a beautiful grand staircase, and one day my little girl was dressed up in Belle's Christmas outfit, wig, everything, we're talking, and she wanted to walk down the stairs like a princess. She was only little at the time, so I wanted to hold her hand. Parents, carers, you know what this is like when you've got little ones going downstairs. You want to look after them. I did not want her tumbling down all those stairs, but she was insistent on walking by herself. So in a video that I've got, you can see me kind of hovering very carefully next to her, worried that she's going to fall, but she didn't. She very elegantly came down the stairs, and then we did photos in front of the big fireplace in the reception, which is equally as beautiful. If you've ever had the chance to go in this hotel, you know it smells delicious. It just has this absolute smell that is gorgeous. You can buy the official scent, but there's a little hack for that. I think it smells like Fireside Treats by Yankee Candle. So I've got quite a few of those, and at Christmas time I like them just to try and bring back more memories of that gorgeous hotel and this lovely time that we had. Now, when my daughter was doing this walk around, her own princess version around the hotel, she had got her face painted earlier in the day, and I had done that because at the time I couldn't afford going to do Bibbity Bobbity, to do the boutique, which is actually in that hotel, so I could have done it, but couldn't afford to do that package, what was staying in the incredibly expensive hotel. So I did the other option, which is going into Fantasyland, round by the carousel. There are some amazing cast members that do the most beautiful face paint. Back at that time, it was about €14. At the moment, of course, with COVID, that's not happening. But when they do bring it back, which I'm sure they will, it really is such a treat for your little one without absolutely breaking the bank. And if you mix that with putting on a special outfit and going somewhere, you don't have to be staying as a guest at that hotel to go into that main reception area. You are more than welcome to do it. If I wasn't at that hotel, I still would pop in and do some photos. Cafe Fantasia that is in there is also absolutely beautiful. The nicest hot chocolate in the world, and they do Mickey waffles in there. So absolutely fine to go into that hotel. But for me, having the chance to stay there, even for a couple of nights, was just a real treat that I will always remember. So memory number 4 for me is the first time that myself and my daughter got to meet Belle. And you may have noticed from this clip that Belle is my absolute favourite, and at the time was my daughter's absolute favourite. Still her favourite princess, but she has other favourite characters now. But at the time, she was besotted, I was besotted. At this time, the live action Beauty and the Beast film was coming out. So whenever that sort of thing happens, the parks tend to match it with upping the character meets for those characters. And at that time, it was Beauty and the Beast. I had done my research, I knew what dress Belle was going to be in, so I knew how to match her, my daughter, not me. And we also worked out where she would be and what times. So on this particular occasion, she was going to be in the studios and it was first thing. So I'm not a runner at all. That's not my thing. I know it's a lot of people's thing and that's great, but it's not mine. To get to the front of that queue, I knew I was going to have to run, even though officially you're not supposed to run at Disney. But in Paris, trust me, in studios, they run. A lot of people are actually running to Crush's Coaster. But I knew a lot of people would also be running to the Belle meet as well. My husband commented that it is the fastest I've ever moved in my entire life. My little girl was small at the time, so she was in a buggy. I was pushing her. She was going, "Come on, mummy, come on." And we got there and we were second in the queue. I was thrilled. I knew we had a bit of a wait. She wasn't coming out for about half an hour. Not a problem. I will happily wait at the front of a queue like that rather than be even sort of 20 or 25 people deep, because that's going to be another hour on top of the half an hour you're waiting. So that's why I happily get to character meets before they open. That is a top tip. So on this day, Grace, my daughter, had her Belle outfit on. I had got her this Belle wig. She looked so adorable. And we got to the front of the queue. And the reason why this memory is in here is that cast member was absolutely everything that I could have asked for. She was kind, she was gentle, she was thoughtful, she was so engaging with Grace. She didn't leave me out. She could see I was a big fan and tried to include me as well, but was so focused on my daughter. We had loads of cast members from the shop, from the Beauty and the Beast shop, come out and have a look at Grace in her outfit, and they thought she looked brilliant, and they were asking me questions about how I'd made certain bits on the outfit. And, you know, you get a sense of pride. I'm not boasting here, I'm just saying you get a sense of pride when cast members appreciate the effort that you go to. And we just had the best time. It felt like we had a really long meet and greet, so I felt sorry for the people behind us. But to be fair, they were only third in the queue, so they weren't waiting too long. As soon as we finished that meet and we said goodbye to Belle, my daughter skipped out of studios. She sat back in her buggy and she said, "Well, that was perfect." And that was it. I was gone, floods of tears, husband laughing at me because I'm crying in Disney again. But when you've put in so much effort and you want something to go well and your expectations are high about something like a meet and greet and everything about it meets your expectations, emotion just takes over, and I lost it. I would like to point out I lost it whilst walking towards the next ride because I wasn't going to miss out on time. So I did hold myself together enough to stick to my own schedule, but it was just an absolute magical day. Memory number 3 for me is another bit of pixie dust that we got while we were in the Disneyland park. If you don't know what pixie dust is something that Disney do, not all the time, but sometimes, where they do special, nice little experiences for guests. There is no way to make this happen. It just happens. I can't tell you have to be here at this certain time and say this secret word or something like that. It's not how it works. It's just a kindness, an act of kindness that might happen during your holiday. I've seen it all the time on different vlogs and in chat groups of people getting it. My heart melts for them every time because I know how special it is. On one particular holiday, we were lucky enough to get some pixie dust, and it was because of something that my daughter did, and so I'll always be super proud of her for this. We were waiting to meet a character, and how they were operating this particular character meet was that you just had to stand around her and she would choose different children or adults to engage with. She was one of the, I'm going to call them cake ladies because I can't remember the official name. I'd better look it up so I can put it in the description box. But basically there were different versions across the different lands, so all the lands across Disney, and it was for the 25th anniversary again. And she would come out, talk to you, and if you were lucky, she would give you a badge. And a lot of us Disney fans at the time were trying to collect all the cake badges from all the cake characters at the time. My little girl stood there a very long time without getting picked. There was a lot of shoving, parents pushing their children to the front to get an interaction. This cast member totally picked up on that. And there wasn't much she could do about the shoving of kids. And clearly it's not the kids' fault that they're getting shoved in front, so you can't punish them for it. But what she did when things calmed down a little minute, she pushed through the crowd and she came up to my little girl and she had the sweetest interaction with her, asking her questions about her favourite cake, what her Disney holiday highlight had been. And then she asked her if she'd seen Illuminations yet, the fireworks show at night. And my daughter said that we had tried to the night before, but it was too busy and she'd got scared. And this was absolutely true. It was what had happened the night before, sadly. That for me was one of the worst interactions we'd ever had. I think it was kind of my fault for where we'd stood. It wasn't the best place, so I learned that lesson very quickly. And in another video, I'll give you tips on where to stand because there are much better places. But for my little girl, it was too much. People were absolutely shoving her all over the place. So I scooped her up and we left just because it wasn't right. But I knew she'd been upset by it. And to hear her share it with that cast member, it was sweet, but I also felt really bad. That cast member then said if she could just wait there for a few minutes when she's finished meeting everyone else, she'd like to come back and talk to her. And I'd overheard this and said, yep, that's no problem, we'll just wait here. So we waited off to the side and Grace patiently waited. And the cast member came back with another cast member and they took down our details and said that they would like to reward Grace for her kindness and her patience, and would we like to go to the VIP area for Illuminations that night. Would we like to go to the VIP area? Yes, the answer was yes. This made up for the night we'd had before. It was just absolutely perfect. The VIP area is right next door to the accessibility area, right at the front, so there's no pushing or shoving. You've got plenty of space. You are amongst other people. It just feels so much better and you've got such a clear view. Once in a lifetime experience. That's not going to happen again for us, but it was just brilliant to experience it and to make up for what had happened, and that's why it's right up there with my memories.
Really? Oh, they're my favorites too. I love them. Big small strawberries. We're gonna say strawberry, of course. 1, 2, 3. Strawberry.
Gracie, let's say.
Strawberry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wait, wait, I got a treasure for you too. Can you wait a little? Oh, just over there. With my matey, my special matey.
Okay, we're getting quite close to the top now. I know you're waiting to hear what my absolute top memory is for Disneyland Paris, but number 2 comes really close. Number 2 is the Frozen show, which is in the theatre in Frontierland. So they use that building for different shows depending on the seasons. On this particular holiday, it was Frozen. It was my daughter's first time in Disneyland, so this was her first show. And I'm going to start this memory with an embarrassing thing that happened just before the nice memory. So I will share this with you. We stood outside and looking at what queue we need to get in. A cast member came up to me, and it was my birthday actually. It was my 30th birthday, and I had made myself some birthday ears because why not? When you're in Disney, it's not just for kids to make out it's your birthday. Let them know when it's yours. And the cast member came up and he said, "Happy birthday," first of all. I said, "Thank you." And he said, "How many?" I thought he meant how old I was. So I told him. He then said, No, this is France. We don't ask ladies their age. He meant how many people for the show. I was mortified, absolutely mortified. But we had a good giggle about it. I explained it was the 3 of us. And he had said to me, because my daughter was in an Anna outfit, we could go and sit in the VIP area. Now, again, I had seen some tips before that this was a good thing to do to dress up as a Frozen character. But like always, you're not guaranteed that it's going to happen. You have to let it happen naturally. So this cast member came up to us and said we could go and sit there. So we could. When we went in, this area was roped off with a red rope, which my daughter thought was brilliant. It had blue leather seating instead of the wood seating. That's the only difference. But honestly, little things like that just really add to a trip. We get in and we're sat there. We're enjoying the show. It is an amazing show. It's so interactive. It's so much fun. There's so much going on. My daughter's having a brilliant time. And then the cast members come out for Olaf's song, and they are throwing huge beach balls around the entire auditorium. And while this is going on, you know, if you're in the audience, you're supposed to bat the ball when it comes near you. The ball kept coming really close to my daughter, but not close enough for her to reach. And she was starting to look a little bit sad and was starting to give up not doing it as much. I was trying to encourage her to keep going because I knew she was going to be sad about it if she didn't get to do it. Now, the thing about Disney is they know what kids love. They know that that sort of activity is a great way to include so many people in one go, which is brilliant. But they also know when things aren't going right for a little one. And this cast member had been watching from the front, had seen my little girl was really trying, but she was just too small to get to anywhere near the balls. So when this cast member caught the ball that was coming her way, she came all the way up the stairs carrying it, going past loads of different people, came up and did the most gentle throw to my daughter so that she could bat it back. So we're talking about batting a ball. It's not costing you anything. It's not something that's right up there or a particular character meet or ride or anything like that. The joy in my little girl's face for getting to be part of that show was just priceless. She loved it. I thanked the cast member as much as I could in a noisy auditorium, and then she took the ball off so that somebody else could have a turn. My daughter turns to me, the biggest grin beaming on her face, And then just after that, we had Let It Go, Snowfalls, perfect Disney moment. Okay, so we've got here my absolute #1 Disneyland Paris memory is voted for by myself, but also my family members. This is our biggie. And it was one I feel incredibly grateful to have had. Other people have had it, but it is something that is quite rare. So what this was becoming the family of honor for the day. This is something that Disney used to be able to do just before a parade time. And what happened with it is that you get to go backstage where the parade is, you can wave at the characters, and then you can get into the Family of Honor car, and you get to drive at the front of the parade before the parade starts. With our particular day that we had, we were super lucky that they were testing out the 25th anniversary parade, and when we went backstage they asked us to come up to the characters so they could test how they were doing a big shot photo. When I say a big shot photo, I mean every character that was in the parade was in the photo with us. I couldn't stop crying. So the photos of me aren't great. I look miserable. Not miserable. I was super happy, but I was so overwhelmed by it. I'm going to backtrack a little bit with how did this start? Where did it come from? Again, as I've said in a previous memory, this is pixie dust. There is no way to manufacture this happening. There just isn't. You get chosen or you don't. Disney do not have a formula for choosing. They don't say 2 adults, 2 children. I've seen people as friends get it. I've seen single parent and child. I've seen just children once in a car where I was wondering where the parents were. And I've seen all different combinations of people. So when they say family of honor, don't think that you have to be 2 adults, 2 children. That is not what they're looking for. Big families, small families, doesn't matter. But they choose, and they choose at different times of the day. It's not just before the parade, which is when we were chosen. I've heard people that have been chosen first thing at park opening as well. In our particular circumstance, for this trip, we had been so overwhelmed with how kind and lovely cast members were. I'd made little badges to say thank you, and Grace wanted to give them out during the holiday, and we'd just been doing it every day. If we had a really nice experience with a cast member, we'd give them this badge that said, thank you for being a great cast member, love, Grace. And for this day, we were waiting for the parade. We were quite early, and we were in front of Belle Noche, which is a great spot, by the way, for watching the parade. And while we were there, some cast members were in the middle and were trying to entertain the children, doing little dances. And Grace was starting to come out of herself and wanted to dance along. And she'd had a great time doing it. She wanted to thank them. So very bravely, at 2.5, she struts up to them with these little presents and starts giving them out. I want to call her back because you're not supposed to be in the kind of parade route area. We still had a good 20 minutes before it was going, so it wasn't dangerous, but I did need to get her back. As I was calling her back, she asked, could she just give out some more to some other cast members that were hanging around? And another cast member nodded to me and said, yes, that's fine. So I said, okay, off you go. She's now going quite far, giving out all these little things, but she looked adorable, looked really cute. And then when she'd finished giving out her badges, she came back, super excited that she'd done it, went and sat in her buggy, and we carried on waiting for the parade. A few minutes later, a cast member came back and said they loved meeting Grace. They've just heard all about her because they had a little chat with her and were asking her questions about her favourite Disney characters and shows, what she likes about Disneyland Paris. And they wanted to do something for Grace. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, that's lovely. Are they going to let us watch the parade from a different spot or something? And this cast member said, could you come with me, and do you mind folding up the buggy? No, not a problem. I'll fold up the buggy. Yes, I will come with you. As we're walking, I realise we're getting to the big colourful gates by Small World, which is where all the parade characters are waiting behind. So I'm starting to get a bit more excited. My daughter is super excited, just squealing, happy, not knowing what's going to happen. Gates open, the Family of Honour car is there, and there is another cast member who is managing the parade, and he said, "Hello, it's lovely to meet you. We would love you to be the Family of Honour. But first, would you mind meeting some people?" He turns, there's the entire cast of Disney stars on parade. And we go in the middle, and like I said earlier, I'm emotional. It's amazing. Grace just now thinks this is a normal thing that happens at Disney. So I'm also thinking, how am I going to manage her expectations on the next trip when this doesn't happen? We stand right in the middle and we have pictures taken, which they really kindly gave us on a photo pass card so that we could go and get them printed later on. We get into the Family of Honour car and off we go on the parade route. And my little girl is waving at all the children, and she waved. It's quite a long route because you're going quite slowly as well. So it lasted quite a long time. She waved that entire time. Now, in the pictures, I just want to point out, she's holding a plush toy that we had just bought before the parade. And it looks a bit unusual. It's Zero from Nightmare Before Christmas. So it didn't really go with the whole rest of the theming that we were in, but she loved this little plush. She's still got it. She adores it. And we've got some photos where all you can see is Zero poking out of the car because she's so little. She only just reached the side of the car. In the video that we've got of us going round, we're about a couple of 100 yards in. My husband turns to me and says, "Claire, are you enjoying this? What's this like?" And I just say, "Best day ever." Now, I'm sorry to my husband. Clearly, I should have said our wedding and giving birth to our daughter is the best day ever. But honestly, this came really high up there. And in the moment, I did say, best day ever. When we had finished the parade route in the car, we were let out just before the pagoda that's in the main town square. And there is a little sectioned area for the Family of Honour to watch the parade. This view is amazing because you are just looking down Main Street and all the characters, you see them for so long coming towards you, and then they turn in front and every single one of them said hello to my daughter as they went by. By now, mascaras everywhere. I'm just crying. It was amazing. At the end of that parade, they came up, like I said, gave us that photo pass so that we could go and get the pictures of us. And for me, this is just one of those memories. We're never going to be able to recreate it. I wouldn't want to because it was so perfect and so lovely. And I am so thankful that we got to do it. I ran back the entire way from Main Street back to the start of the parade to find the cast members that had chosen us to do it. Couldn't stop thanking them. I wanted them to know how much that had meant to us. So my top memory is definitely being Family of Honour for the day at Disneyland Paris. I really would love to know what your top memories are at Disney. If you could share in the comments, let us know. Was it a special show, an attraction, a character meet, a particular season, a hotel you stayed in? Maybe you got some pixie dust. Maybe you've been Family of Honour, or you've been in the VIP area, or someone's let you in ahead on a ride. Whatever it is, please share it. I love talking about special memories with all my viewers. If you want to see some more videos like this, please subscribe, like this video so that they pop up on your news feed. Thank you.
Say hi.
Welcome, one and all. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate our anniversary. Disney Stars on Parade will begin in just a few moments. In the meantime, please welcome our Family of Honour on this special day. Thank you.
waves, Grace. Keep doing those big waves. How you doing, Claire?
This is brilliant. Best day of my life.